Hello, my name is Richity, and welcome to episode 3 of my Vaulthunters Skyvaults playthrough. To start off this one, I thought I'd start to explain what's going to happen once I actually get into the main vault right behind me. So, the way the main vaults are different from the raw vaults is that the main vaults have 3 different types of chests that spawn in their own types of POIs. So whereas the hardened chests would just spawn in every POI, and sometimes they would be living or enigma, the POIs in this vault are going to be specifically for either living, ornate, gilded, or wooden chests, or coin piles. And the way these differ is, let's start off with wooden. Wooden is the most common type. This has very basic materials that are used for many things in the vault mod. The next is the gilded chest. The gilded chest is kind of hard to explain, but it has things like vault diamonds. They're kind of like rarer regular materials. They've also got jewels, which are used for tool creation, and I think that's all the gilded chests have. Next is the ornate chests. The ornate chests are probably going to be the most useful for me early on right now, as they contain vault gear, which is very useful, and there are many different types of it, which I'll get more into later. Next is the living chest. The living chest contains like progression-related materials, such as vault burgers, which let you level up, knowledge points, which let you unlock new mods, as well as the vault god charms, but we won't be getting into that now, as that's a level 40 thing. Alright, and next up is the coins. The coins will only ever drop coins, but there are 4 different tiers. There's bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. Gold is what you'll be using mostly, as there are shopping rooms at level 20 that you can buy stuff with gold. Then bronze is the one you'll be using the second most, as you will re-roll gear with it. There are also vault ores, which we'll also get into later, but those are used mainly for modded stuff, but there are a few other uses for them as well. I think I'm ready to go in now, so let's head right in. Alright, it looks like the theme we got is the pirate theme. I actually don't know what this theme is called, but it's got like, it's very sandy and it has like water themed mobs. Also, this room is a challenge room. Now, this is one of the most straightforward challenge rooms. There's either a challenge or there isn't. You just dig down right into the center, and then you want to wait here, but it's always a good idea to lock that up, but you just want to wait. And then if you hear that noise, it's not good. In fact, this, I think, is everything. Well, that was a very anticlimactic first vault. Alright then. Well, really don't have anything to do it here, so I'm just gonna craft up another crystal and get right back in. But yeah, that wasn't supposed to happen. You've got to be careful. Those rooms can have a lot of chests in them, but if you, with the X marks room, if you get unlucky, then you're gonna end up with a ton of mobs around you, and it can be hard to get out of. I should have everything I need for it. I'm definitely gonna need to go into a raw vault right after this. And I'm just gonna snatch the dirt from my island. Alright, and there's the end. Okay. Now this vault, I'm not going to die right away, and I'm going to actually play well, and I'm gonna not die. Let's get into this first room. Now, this is a common room, just like I've seen in raw vaults, but as you can see, the eyes here are wooden chests rather than hardened chests. I can open them up, and you see there are sandy rocks, wooden chunks, and a ton of different materials. Vault suites are nice because they're pretty much just a free food source. And then the wooden chunks and sandy rocks are both deco items. And this one right here is a gilded POI. with the gilded chests. Gilded chests have the decor items I can get right now is the topaz, gilded ingots, and gilded sconces. The gilded ingots and topaz shards can both be crafted, just like the wooden chunks and sandy rocks. And then there's also these vault diamonds, which are used for a lot of things. You never seem to have enough of them, despite how many you get. And then these are coins. I don't have a good tool for getting them, so it's going to be a bit slow for the time being, but let's see what I think I saw. There's a secret wood chest here. Oh, and here's one of those jewels I was talking about. So they have a certain stat. This one is living affinity, which means if I put it on a tool, it can mine living chests easily. And then this right here is a pylon. They give a certain buff for a limited amount of time. And sometimes they can be a rarer variant called an uber pylon, which gives you a very good buff for a limited amount of time. Oh, and something I just remembered is that my shield here has thorns damage, which means when things hit me, they pretty much just die. Obviously, you don't want to get hit on, but the mobs are not doing a lot of damage, so it doesn't really matter right now. Oh, and this one right here is a ore room, as it's usually called. It's just a basically common room, but rather than the POIs being filled with chests, they are filled with ores, as you can see here. And there are many different types of vault ores, so I'm not going to go over each one, but you'll see their uses as we need to use them. Oh, that's a champion. So champions are mobs that have much more health and a trait that will do a certain thing. This one is the vampire trait, which means that when it hits me, it's going to steal a bit of my health. But you do get a reward for fighting them, so it's always worth it. Oh, although if you're not careful, you can easily get killed. Ooh, that's a unidentified vault helmet, an epic one at that. And I'm just gonna roll it right here and see what I get. Alright, so this one has 6 armor, 18% mana to regen, 4% increased area of effect, 5% item quality, and 5% knockback resist. So mana regen and item quantity are pretty self-explanatory, but the increased area of effect is going to be used for the spells later on that have area of effect, such as the Nova spell. When you cast it, it deals damage in a radius around you, and if you have increased area of effect spells, you can increase that radius. Here I've got two, there are 2 living POIs, and I'll show you what living chests give in a second. As soon as I defeat this second champion polar bear. It's not common that you get 2 in the same room. But this early on, it's very welcome, as their loot is the most useful this early on. That's an unidentified focus, which is probably one of the worst things it could have given me, but I mean, I guess it would have been worse. It could have been another helmet. But focuses are another offhand item that focus on like mana and support. Like as you can see, it's got a stat that helps you avoid mining fatigue, gives you more mana and more healing efficiency, which increases the healing you receive, but it's not very useful to me right now, so. And as you can see there, the decor items, knowledge essence of burger part, follow me it is used for some things, but not really relevant right now. And then regret nuggets help you to forget skills to your skill points back. And this was the last type of chest that I had to find, the ornate chests. Now these, as I said, are probably going to be some of the most useful for me right now. They contain things like focuses that allow you to re-roll your gear's stats, and they also contain actual vault gear, which is going to be very useful since I only have 3 pieces of it right now. There are some vault boots from the ornate chest. I'm gonna grab these and roll them right away. Alright, this one has armor, health, and mana regen. And as you can see in my hotbar, or above my hotbar, I've got 1.5 extra hearts. Another champion here. Let's see what it gets me. Ooh, some leggings. And a bitter lemon. Bitter lemon is one of the vault fruits, which can give you extra time in the vaults if you eat them. But they are consumed, so you've got to be careful with when you use them. You got to make sure that you actually need them. Alright, another common piece of gear with the same exact stats of my boots. Same exact types of stats as my boots. Yep, there's a vault axe. Don't really need a vault axe right now, but I'm gonna take it anyway. Vault axes are another type of weapon. They can be used just like swords can, but they're generally not as good. Like, if I were to look at my stat screen, you can see my damage right there. If I put that in, oh, well, it's the same, but I'm used to swords, so it's gonna be worse. But yeah, they're usually not as good. Oh, and since my time is low, I'm sure you noticed that at the top of the screen, there was a bar that was filling up as I was looting through the chests. And I'm sure you've seen these things around the vault. And as you can see, it's called a lodestone, and a lodestone is what I've gotta consume. This is one of the vault objectives that is in the normal vaults here. There are many different types, but until I get to level 10, it'll just be the elixir rush objective, which has me loot chests and fight mobs to gather elixir until I can eventually consume the lodestone. And then after a short delay, it teleports you right back outside the vault, so you don't need to exit through the portal like I do with the raw vaults. Alright, I got a lot of XP from that vault, 31,000. I got 57 wooden, 10 living, 6 gilded, 14 ornate, and then these 2 types of chests are not relevant at the moment. 75 coin vials, and quite a few ores. And I killed a lot of mobs. And as you can see in the rewards, rather than just being XP, there's also this elixir crate. Each actual vault gives you a crate if you complete it, which contains many goodies. And I'm going to craft another chest for my vault decor items, as they take up a lot of space. I don't really like putting them in my normal chests. But I'm just going to get unlooted, and then I'll open up the crate and see what's in it. Alright, now that I've finished de-looting, let's see what's in this crate. So there's a sword, some vault leggings, a helmet, and a focus, and also this jewel, which... it's not a bad jewel. I probably won't use the hammer size. It's a very good stat, as it's pretty rare, but I don't plan on using a hammer at the time being, but wooden affinity and shoveling is pretty good together. As usually, I'll have wooden affinity on my main tool, And I will also want to put shoveling and picking and axing on it so that I can mine anything. Let's see what these vault here get me. The rare leggings will almost definitely be better than the common ones I have right now, as they have more stats. I will say, I actually think I prefer the common ones though. They're always better. The common ones that I have more health, they have armor, and I don't really need item quantity or knockback resistance right now, so I'm just gonna put those away. This is also not very useful for me. I don't really need mana regen. This one has less attack, and attack is the main thing I'm looking for right now. And this helmet is not useful for me. Alright, I think that's all the recording time I have today, so I'll probably start off with some raw vaults the next time I have time, but I'll see you then. Alright, I'm back here the next day, and I'm thinking that right now what I want to do is enter a raw vault to try and get some red dye in order to continue on with the quests that I've been trying to complete, as this will get me into some more things which are important to the mod pack. But before I do that, I actually have some more skill points that I can use. So I'm thinking I want to put I'll put one into dash, I'll put one into strength, one into haste. Stonefall is like one of my favorite abilities just because it makes the water bucket clutch way easier, and you also don't need to have a water bucket in your hotbar, so I'm going to take that one as well. I'll probably still keep it there just in case, but also, at level 5, I gained an expertise point. I'm thinking I'll actually save it for now, but later on, I'll pick from one of these abilities, which I'll also explain later. Anyway, for this vault, I mean, pretty simple as I said. Just need to find some red dye, or something that can give me red dye, so I can finally craft that shard pouch. And with that, I'm gonna head right in. So mainly, I'm really just looking for mainly a farming room. I might explore this just in case, but I don't think this can have anything that'll give me red dye. I'll make sure to let you guys know if I find something, but I'm not thinking I will. There it is, and I just got a glimpse of it. Roses, exactly what I need. And I kind of explained it before, but the double tall flowers are, I think, better than the one tall flowers, as they're easily renewable. So like you can just use bone meal on it, and you'll get infinite duplicates of the flower. So now I have as much red dye as I'll ever need, which is very good. And then the blue dye, as I said, will also just come from the lapis that I have. I've got plenty of it. I got over 2 stacks even just in this vault. Alright, I'm thinking I don't really have much else that I need in this vault, so I'm just gonna head out. And then I'll see if I can craft the shard pouch, and after that I'll get cracking on the next quests. Which shouldn't be too difficult, as I already have a few of them, like, I have the materials I need for them. Alright, it's a pretty good vault overall. I got everything I needed. I got some nice ores, some compressed clay and dirt from the mining room, some moss, dripstone, just a lot of good stuff overall, and of course the flowers that I said I'll need for that purple dye. Alright, and while I was going in that vault, I also decided to check all the flesh chests I saw in case I could find a mystery mob egg. I'm really hoping for a sheep so that I can get more, so that I won't ever have a problem with wool or mutton again. But let's see what's in it. And fortunately, it is a sheep. So I can just break this, and then I'll get the jar back so I can spawn the sheep, put it in. I can place this back down. Now there should be 2 sheep in there. Next up, I'm gonna take some of my lapis and the roses I got. I'll craft the purple dye, and then I'll dye the sheep. I did just shear it recently, so you can't see that it's purple, but once it grows its wool back, you'll see that it has become a purple sheep. Alright, and there you can see that the sheep has regrown its wool, so I'll just grab my shears. Grab it, and I got just enough wool for that shard pouch. So the really nice thing about the shard pouch is that all these soul shards I've been getting, they'll all fit into the shard pouch, so I never need to fill up my chests with them again. As you can see, they all fit in there, and it can store an infinite amount, which is very nice. And then from that, the quest basically tells me what the soul shard does, and then it also gives me a little bit of an intro to the pouches that I get from this. Pouches are basically like better shulker boxes. You can put one on your back, and then you can hold as many as you want in your inventory. You can give them upgrades. Pickup upgrade allows it to pick up any items. Like if I throw the stone on the ground, then it'll, rather than going into my inventory, it'll go into my pouch. But if you don't want that, you can set a memory, which I'll do in a second. But then I also got the void upgrade. I don't usually like to use this because I like to keep all my materials, but it's very nice if you like don't have, or if you don't want to have to be like manually tossing things out. But yeah, I like to keep my materials, so I generally don't use it. Anyway, for my pouches, I usually like to put any materials I'll be getting a lot of, which is a lot of the vault materials. So start off with the decor items. Usually start off with the wooden chest ones. You can just drag and drop from JEI once you have the memory tab open. There are 3 from the wooden chests. There's the wooden chunks, the sandy rocks, and the vault suites. Next up, I always do living, as the living one has 5 and it creates an even 8 with the wooden chests 3. And next up, I'll do gilded. Next up, there's ornate. Next up, I put some vault bronze, vault silver, raw carbon, driftwood, magic silk, vault essence, vault plating, vault diamonds. And then I think I'll put the 3 most common focuses, as those appear a lot in ornate chests. Alright, and there's full, so whenever I pick up anything like this from the vault, it will go right into the pouch rather than into my inventory. And then I'll also set the pickup to match backpack contents, so even if one of these slots was empty, it would only pick up what is in one of these slots. Alright, and the next quest is the bounty hunting quest. So, the bounty table is a pretty easy craft. You just need 5 chromatic iron ingots, 2 vault essences, and 1 loom. And what this is that you can select a challenge to do, and if you complete it, you'll get rewards and experience. Next quest, and the reward for this quest is bounty pearls, which you can use to re-roll a quest. I actually got some of these from the last vault. Anyway, this one's pretty easy. This one's pretty easy. All 3 of them are pretty easy, but I think I'll take this center one here, as it gives me, well, mainly the magnet's going really nice, but it also gives me a good amount of chromatic iron. I'm not looking really for the helmet or boots, but those will be useful anyway. Alright, and for this next quest, I actually need to complete a bounty, which means I'm going to need to enter another vault. So I'm going to craft the crystal. Another pretty easy one. Alright, but I've been thinking this vault I'll have to wait until the next episode. I think I got a good amount of progress here. I got the next two quests done, which I was stuck on for a bit. I got some vault gear, like the helmet and the leggings and the boots. Hopefully next episode I'll be able to get a chest plate to round it off. And I also got the bounty table there. And anyway, that'll do it for this time, and I'll see you next time. Bye!